morning. We're back. It's Everyday Struggle. Nadeska, Act, Wayno. Guys, what's going on?
Good morning, y'all.
What's up? What's up?
What's the deal?
How you feeling?
So gotta figure that out.
Man.
No?
We're just gonna have to like
that?
a real hug every day. So confusing. How you guys?
Good.
Good. Today's a little bit better. Still ain't sleep, but you know what I mean? Here to attempt to discuss hip hop. We'll see how we could get, or how far we could get.
Thank you for showing up today. Well, look, we got something special for you today, Ak. Yeezus is 5 years old, as is Born Sinner. Both of them 5-year anniversaries this week. So today we're going to talk about Yeezus, but don't worry, we're going to ease you in. We're going to get there. All right, so we're going to start with some better news today. So now, just hours before his tragic death, XXXTentacion had announced plans for a charity event in Florida. And now Ski Mask, the Slump God, wants to make sure it still happens. So, of course, they're good friends and collaborators. He said, I'd like to take that over and also make it a day of remembrance, which seems like a really good way to, commemorate his death. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's dope. It's kind of like what I was saying yesterday. I think not only it shouldn't be even a one-person thing. I think everyone who wants to be involved should get involved. Not only that, I think it should be just really, as you said, a day of remembrance, just on a annual level. Because again, in the last couple months of our ex's life, he was trying to make it a point that he wanted to give back. He wanted to do charity, and when he saw other entertainers messing up and their image was being tarnished, he used to reach out to them and he used to tell them, like, hey, listen, you got to show a different side of you. You have to start giving back. You have to stop showing you doing all these other things that's going to have people only perceive you one way. So I hope people and other rappers who he's had an effect on just kind of take that torch and run with it and remember what he was trying to have them do and he was trying to do himself.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate that death always puts life in perspective. But like you said, he was trying to change his ways and everything, and it should be something that's done annually. I mean, he's from Florida, but his message translates around the world with this kid. I looked at his page the day he passed, and he was like at 8 million followers. He's like almost at 12 million now. And to quote Biggie, nobody until somebody kills you. It's unfortunate, but I think people should definitely keep his name and his message alive. And I think that for what he was trying to do, he's going to spark another young kid that's one day going to try to carry on what he was trying to do. So you'll definitely see more artists that's influenced by XXX in the future.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things, too, is like his message was never, he left without us getting everything he was intended to do. And this is like a crazy way to think of an artist, but sometimes you see an artist like him and he's not going to be here forever. And you see him, he was trying to do a lot in just a few months. He dropped an album not too long and it was like, yo, I'm dropping 2 more. I'm coming back again. And clearly he felt like maybe just some intuition shit, like, yo, my time is coming. I got to get all the stuff done. So, I mean, I felt like he had more to deliver, but in terms of his effect and really like in terms of charity and giving back, and I hope that this gets turned into, most of his charitable efforts was really trying to show people that, hey, listen, I was accused of some really bad things in terms of domestic violence, and he still maintained his innocence until his death, but he was trying to show that, hey, listen, I'm not the guy who was young and immature, kind of just like getting on Snapchat and just saying some wild stuff because I didn't know how to handle criticism. I'm actually someone who could empathize with women who are going through that, and I'm going to show you how much I care by actually allocating my time and money and resources to try to help out. But also, I do think charities that are intended to be meant for him and his remembrance should also focus on mental health. He's a person who, his fan base, his first album, he told people specifically, like, yo, this is for people who are depressed. If you're not depressed, do not listen. Right. And I remember I had a tough time listening to it just on a critic point of view, just because it really wasn't intended for me. So he has a lot of people and a lot of kids who look to him as some type of like audio medicine of some sorts. And I hope people realize that, again, mental issues, bipolar disorder, and other things are real serious issues that not only he was dealing with, but of course his fans. And hopefully some charity and maybe an effort could be done to bring some more awareness to that, right, if we're going to consider really keeping his name alive.
Right. So like you said, you know, of course, like his fans are really drawn to his music and the message. They felt like they could relate. So his sales and streaming numbers are off the charts right now in iTunes. I think like the vinyl and the CDs are up some crazy number, like 54,000%. I don't even know how you calculate that. So maybe it's a mix of people who are hearing his name for the first time and want to check it out, but I'm sure a lot of it also just fans revisiting the music.
I think and also people have to be careful about like with the universe, because one thing about X is like he spoke about death a lot. He spoke about, you know, depression a lot. And I'm a firm believer that your thoughts become things. I'm not saying that he called death upon himself, but when you call for certain things, or I mean, when you speak about certain things, they sometimes get spoken into existence. And you just have to be a little bit careful with your energy, you know, and putting that energy out. Like we all know that this is a unfortunate tragedy, but just be mindful of these things. Like, you know, for the people who are his fans, you know, celebrate his life. Let's not get fixated on just his death.
Right.
I think the life that he lived, I mean, he had a very short time here. He was only here for 20 years and maybe a 2-year music career, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, just be very mindful when you're speaking about things and what you're going through, how you project it, because it comes back in many different ways, you know.
I will say though, to that point, he's one of those artists that legitimately had suicidal thoughts. I talked to him, and he's had his bouts with contemplating suicide on a real level, where almost to the point of really going through the whole process and other things throughout his life. Of course, his upbringing is one of the things that really kind of probably helped set a lot of things in motion. But yeah, he spoke about death, but mostly that was how he was feeling in terms of saying he doesn't want to be here. Again, a lot of people who suffer from these mental issues is not even, we're not dealing with just the average person who is like, why are you talking about death, right? Because I can't understand it because I don't speak like that, right? But for this person, like, he felt so much pain at times, he felt it was better not to be here. He was learning to cope. Anger was one of the ways he used to fight everyone. Right. That's why he caught a lot of assault charges. And, like, he used to go to school and just fight everyone. He said himself that was his way of getting attention.
Trouble kid. Yeah,
he wanted his mom to pay attention.
So it's one of those things where I don't think he was just like randomly speaking about death. I do believe it came from a place of him not knowing how to deal with what he was feeling and hurt. And if you listen to his albums, and that's another thing I was thinking about, like, I know he created at least 1 or 2 more albums, but how much more work will we hear from him where we're hearing this evolution? Again, the person I talked to like a month or 2 ago was much different than the kid that I talked to in prison. It was a kid with so much fire behind everything he said that even though he was locked up at that point, and of course he desperately wanted to get out, like, he couldn't understand certain things. He only knew one way how to react. From the situation with Drake, from the Migos situation, you couldn't talk sense into him. To a guy who then evolved, and you got to realize we're dealing with kids. At the end of the day, he was only 20, and he did start realizing, you know what, I'm dealing with things incorrectly. I'm dealing with my emotions incorrectly, and it wasn't something that was solved through anger management. It wasn't something that was solved through repeated instances of him being jailed. It was him coming to it's like a self-actualization moment where he's like, yo, this is not how I should do things.
Right.
And of course his fans learn too.
Yeah, and most people spend all of their 20s trying to fix the problems from their childhood, right? Like things that you couldn't control, bad habits that you picked up, bad behavior, things you want to undo. So just regardless of how you felt about him or his music, just again, 20 years old was just way too young to go.
Very young.
You know? So I hope Ski Mask keeps us updated on the charity event in Florida. We'll see how that's going to go. Now let's get into some numbers. Of course, you had a ton of projects out recently, including Jay-Z and Beyonce's Everything Is Love. Nas dropped his album as well. Tell us how these are looking.
Well, this was reported yesterday, but there's a little bit of...
There's always a twinkle in your eye.
No. Listen, man, I'm going to just say it off the rip. Title might be cooking these numbers. Because... the news came out yesterday from a very reputable, His Daily Double, who does a great job of projecting what artists will sell with whatever project. basically Jay and Beyonce album was projected to sell around 125,000 first week, which is, for a lot of people, they're like, Jay and Beyonce, surprise or not, didn't seem right.
But it was a title exclusive for a bit. And still, I believe on Spotify, you still only can hear it with the paid membership, I believe. Premium, so I'm sure that affects some numbers.
Spotify join. I don't know.
So cheap.
But yeah, I guess it is available on other platforms now. But still, people are a little alarmed that it's 125, even with the title exclusive. However, from that, we have Nas, who's expected to do 80, which, again, I think this is the shocking thing for a lot of people, because I saw a lot of discussion about numbers. And by the way, Hits Daily Double, they did retract. It's the first time I've seen it. They've retracted their projection for Jay-Z and Beyonce. So I don't know if they are admitting they're off or they're saying we just don't have enough data. Again, the title exclusive will make things a little bit
harder to calculate
different,
those
right?
numbers, yeah.
Also, we don't even know if Tyler will even report. It's the same thing with Kanye West album. When Kanye West album came out, they told us how much it streamed. Kanye tweeted out like, yo, we streamed 250 million in a week, but that wasn't reported to the sales reporting agency, so those weren't official. So, I mean, who knows? I do think that's a little bit low for Jay and Beyonce, though. But for Nas, and I'm just looking at both of them, it shows how much streaming matters and how much just being trendy is a thing, right? Like if you get to be that trendy artist, or you're just doing that trendy stuff, you'll probably sell 200,000.
Yeah.
But if you're a legacy act, and I would think you're a legacy act like a JB and Nas, like you will still have the support where you're at least pushing 100. It was a little bit disappointing to see Nas do 80.
Okay.
But it's still 7 songs.
I mean,
We know
care
that Beyonce does not give a fuck about the streaming numbers.
I mean, I don't even care about what the artist sells. I just like the music or not. Like, that's it. It doesn't matter to me what they sell. I didn't know shit about sales until 50 started talking about it. Like, for real, I really didn't. Like, my whole time growing up listening to music, I didn't know nothing about what people were selling. I just knew that I liked music, or I knew I didn't like the shit. So.
You feel the same as an artist manager?
Oh no.
I was just checking.
Oh no.
Just checking.
That's a whole nother story. But I mean, at the same time, like, if they do those type of numbers, that is like disappointing. But I don't see how Jay and Beyonce could do those type of numbers.
What it kind of tells me is that, like, the kid's not listening. That's what I take away from it, because if I look at the projections, it says about 80,000. If Jay and Beyonce does sell 125, 80,000 of those are albums that were bought. We all know, like,
Bought meaning like downloaded.
Yeah, so actually purchased.
Yeah,
so
actually
the rest are streams.
Right.
And we all know, like, the Uzis of the world, X and God Rest His Soul, and the newer artists, most of their stuff is like they get like 5 to 10% sales, then the rest is streaming.
Right.
When you have Jay pulling over half, it's like 65% in sales, it shows that they're not adding up to the normal ratio when it comes to new artists. You know why? Because it's probably just not trendy. Their fans just go cop it because, yo, it's J&B. What you mean? So, again, it all comes down to being trendy.
Yeah, I think, let's see though, if they release numbers eventually. That exclusive must have something to do with it. Because I feel like whenever Beyonce drops, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the world stops. I mean, everything stops. The world gets slower when she drops something.
So,
Well, that's what I'm saying. The 125 look a little,
Yeah.
I don't know, look a little funny in the light. You know what I mean?
In the light.
I'm not used to, like, the Migos can't outsell Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like, I'm sorry. Are we not gonna say? I know you don't care about numbers, but you know what? Numbers kind of it does put things in perspective, especially when you think about artists that are highly anticipated. I know it's Jay and Beyonce and even Nas, so it's not like people are like, oh my God, when are they gonna drop? Even though we kind of knew that Jay and Beyonce was gonna drop something, but like artists like that, even Cole, when Cole comes back, like, yo, it's Cole, and 500,000 people go get it.
400, like he did 397, right? His last year. I think what did Cole do?
I think it did like 500 almost.
No, not on KOD.
Okay, like 400.
Yeah, because remember Post Malone out there like the next week, and he
right.
did like a little bit over 4.
Yeah, you're right. But that's the type of audience I would expect Jay and Beyonce. Like, yeah, you're not gonna get an album from me like every 6 months or a year like these new guys. But whenever I come, y'all gonna be there. So this is a little shocking, but we're gonna blame it on Tidal. Where's Samsung in times like this, man? Can't Samsung just buy like $1 million? This is where Samsung, Sprint, and all them companies just hop in and be like, yo, listen, we bought every copy on the shelf. Fuck it. Yeah, we even bought every digital
Like,
copy.
how does that? That's so funny. Copy on the shelf. Like to even hear that now. It's like there are no more shelves anymore. It's like crazy. It's like you don't even see. There's nothing physical. That's what I was about to say. It was so simple when you could just go buy a CD.
Yeah.
You know, but then it becomes so bulky. It's like the same
They
thing.
just don't age well.
Yeah, they don't.
The vinyls make a lot more sense.
Right.
I was also surprised because we saw this like last year with a couple of artists doing it. I'm surprised that they're going on a stadium tour. Right. I'm surprised that they didn't couple ticket purchases with album purchases.
But then that would give away the album.
Your chop says Nicki's. No, but that's the point. Like, it's all about consumption, right?
Right.
So, like, a lot of these, like, pop, like, Taylor Swift them do it.
Yeah.
Right? Because for them, the numbers at this point is all about perception. When somebody flops, you're like, yo, maybe they ain't as hot as. Because you see, us as fans, because we're not privy to numbers, it's so easy. When 50 did it, SoundScan was really and it still is. It's a internal thing, right? But now we see the Billboard charts, which is just a chart, but we see numbers come out through all these other outlets, and it's easy to Google this shit. So now I'm looking at it like, yo, if my man's flop, yo, again, not saying I'm calling it a flop, but we look at it's
But
perception.
and it's a whole different combo because you like mentioned Taylor Swift. Yo, she did like 2.1 physical. Like she still sells physical. People
She has
still,
that country music fan base where they still buy records.
And the problem, and this is my biggest problem with like with people with their, everybody has their favorite thing. Their Spotify, their Google, their Tidal, whatever, Apple Music, and it's just like, oh, Jay-Z and Beyonce got enough money. I'm not giving them no money, but you'll give it to Apple, which you don't know any of these people, and they have way more money than a Tidal or Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it just goes to show you that their fan base, they love them to death, everything, but they don't want to spend money. You know, and even just for the stream, like just for the stream, or just to play it.
Cheap.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, quick side note, just in case the internet was still on this rumor that Nas might have been mad that Jay and Beyonce dropped the same weekend. TMZ, of course, with the source confirming Nas feels no sort of way. He knows our hip hop royalty, et cetera, et cetera. Did you guys really think that he cared to begin with?
No.
It's just like internet.
You know what? The internet is still stuck on this petty beef, everything. Yo, I've seen Jay and Nas at an award show, and the way Jay looked at Nas, or Nas looked at Jay, they memed it like, yo, this is going back to when East. I'm like, yo, what are y'all talking? Like, yo, they're past that. Like, again, you grow up, and yo, it was a very interesting time in hip hop, and of course those men lives, but nobody's still on some let's
not
run
on that
up
shit.
You
Like,
get
come
me?
on, like,
And again, I'm pretty sure, even though we're discussing numbers here, but we're discussing numbers as critics and just kind of understanding how people in the culture care about stuff. But in reality, I'm pretty sure Nas don't care about it like that. Like, yo, how many albums he's dropped? Like, he's like, yo.
They don't have to, they're not selling records to pay their bills. Like, let's be for real. They're not selling records to pay their bills. And the whole thing with Nas is that, like, Nas's fan base and Jay's fan base, even though it's kind of the same, it's really not. Like, Nas fans, like, I'm talking about the Stone Cold Hardcore Nas fan and the Stone Cold Hardcore Jay-Z fan are two totally different people. And they will argue each other back and forth. Then the people that's listening to Nas is not even listening to Jay-Z and Beyonce shit. They be like, I'm not listening to that shit. They got dance songs on it. Like, they for real, like, they're not listening to that.
Yeah, I don't take it as any type of shade, and clearly Nas doesn't either. Like, who would be thinking? Like, of course, on social media, though, they built up a whole thing. I'm not going to lie, which I did see.
It's very coincidental, but it's not, like.
Well, Beyonce fucked up by liking that tweet, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, apparently there was a tweet that was liked by Beyonce's Twitter account. Of course, she's not. Blue Ivy was on the joint, okay? But somebody liked a tweet that said, it was like Nas looking confused at a computer, like, yo, why my album ain't up?
Him trying to up. No, the memes was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie, the memes are hilarious.
Too much time on the internet. Yeah, I'm sure neither of them care, but we'll see. I'm sure these numbers are gonna go up. Hopefully get more.
And also, let's put it back in perspective, at least for Nas. Well, I guess for Jay and Beyonce too. Like, these are very short albums, so we can't expect streaming-wise for them to be killing. Which even when we saw Ye do, what was it, 175 or was it 2 something? I think it was 175. We looked at it like, damn, we expect Ye to do more, but shoot, if we're looking at 7 songs, and you got to still remember, around half is gonna be streaming.
Right.
Right. If how much times could you stream 7 songs?
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
All right, well, this next album, not 7 songs, not a light listen. J-Rock, his Redemption album is out. Features from Cole, Kendrick, Future, SZA, and more. His last album, 90059, dropped in 2015. What do you guys think about this project? Definitely a personal album. He's talking a lot about his struggle with the streets and the industry, like straddling that fine line. And of course, there's a few jams on there. Win is a great treadmill track. I need to pull up the track list. There's a few more I like. But what do you guys think?
Well, I listened to it, you know, we got hit with so much music at one time. It's like as soon as I was like, yeah, J-Rock and Nas, and then we get hit with the fucking Jay-Z and Beyonce album, and then I was listening to J-Rock shit, and I ain't gonna lie, I threw that Jay and Beyonce shit on, and I had to go back like a few days later. But I felt like Redemption was very honest of J-Rock. Like one of my favorite joints, the intro, the bloodiest.
Word.
The next song after that, what was that? Let me see.
For What It's Worth.
For What It's Worth. For What It's Worth. Because you know me, I like the album fillers. I like the songs where people are like giving away their diary as to who they are and what they are and how they built themselves. I think that for it to come in the middle of, well, did they finish the tour yet? The TDE tour? I don't know if it's still going on.
I'm not sure.
No, I think it's still going.
It just rap? Yeah, it just rap. But I mean, for them to drop it at this time, you know, the momentum he has with King's Dead and being on the Black Panther soundtrack, it's a perfect timing for J-Rock, and nobody else on TDE is in his way.
Right.
Like SZA put her shit out last year. We don't know when Kendrick's dropping, you know, but when you look at TDE as a whole, you kind of got to think like, yo, they really controlling the game in a sense, because we may not talk about them because they don't have any antics. They just have music, you know, on a day-to-day. But I really respected what J-Rock did with this album.
I got to keep it 100, yo. I still didn't get to dig in this album. I listened to it like,
Pat.
I'm serious. It's been a lot going on, bro. But now I listened to it lightly. I mean, I don't even have like a full opinion on it, truth be told. Like, I heard the intro and like 3 more songs, and they sounded dope.
And Win, did you see Win, the Win video with him and Kendrick? Well, Kendrick does the ad-libs on it.
I didn't watch no videos, bro.
We can come back to it.
I didn't even watch the Carter video. Actually, I did. My mistake, man. The Carter.
Now, I haven't seen none of their videos either.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, it was just too much, like.
You know what it is? Because before, before you had, here he goes. Before we used to have to sit in front of the television to watch. Now it's like we're watching everything on our devices while we're trying to do business and run around and live lives. So it's kind of hard.
Videos these days, like I glance at them on Instagram. If it don't grab me on Instagram, I'm not going to YouTube.
Right. Well, I mean, I think Redemption, if I was rating it out of 5, I'd give it a 4. I give it a strong 4. I feel like it's a few.
I wish I listened to them.
And the joint with him and Jeremiah. The joint with him and Jeremiah is dope.
It's a
4 out of 5?
Yeah, I give it 4 out of 5. I give it 4 out of 5.
So that's like really good. I got to see where your
It's really
parameters
good.
is.
No,
It's really good.
it's really good because you know I'm a lyric guy.
Classic?
Yeah.
No, it's not a
All right,
classic.
cut it out.
No, it's a near classic.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't call it a near a classic. I feel like even with J-Rock putting out prior efforts, this is a real start for him. Like, this is the real push. I mean, the last one, it came out through Strange Music. I remember they did something with Strange Music with Tech Nine's label.
The 2015 album?
I think so. I could be wrong, but I knew that he had did something with Tech Nine at one point in time.
All right.
But it's a strong project, you know. And I mean, I've been looking at J-Rock since I remember MySpace, yo. MySpace and him having a record with Lil Wayne, and that was like a big thing. And Kendrick Lamar, I didn't even know he existed at that time, and he was still around. Yeah.
Shit. Hey, listen, man. I'm gonna make it my mission. It's gonna be Real Nigga Hip Hop Weekend.
Real Nigga Hip Hop Weekend.
Have you ever had one of those before?
Yeah, I have. But
No, he
it's-
did it like
This is
1,
the
2.
first
Yo,
annual.
yo, it's been
Wait.
like it's too much music, man.
No,
Like,
it's
not too much
It's
music.
a lot of music.
What?
No, listen, because if it was some fucking
No.
8 songs of kids with 2-minute songs.
No. Yo, put like this. If when it's like 3-4 people dropping music that you want to listen to, yeah, it's too much. It's too much. Trust me.
In all
like,
fairness-
especially to digest it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like I could listen to a song and pass and be like, oh, that sounds
Right.
cool.
Like,
but to listen to the album,
And this is not that kind of album that you listen in passing, right?
No, you know, I've listened to, I ain't gonna lie, like it came out Friday, between Friday to yesterday, because I listened to it again. I listened to it about a good 15 times, start to finish.
Damn.
50, oh yeah, you got.
I drive
Shit.
everywhere, so when I'm driving, I'm
you
listening to this
Oh,
shit. Like, you know what I mean? I drive everywhere.
Yeah, no. I heard this when I was hearing the intro joint. Like midway through it, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to dedicate like 2 hours to this shit because this thing is barring me up right now, and I can't just like half pay attention.
And
You know what I mean?
leave this one last thing I had. He had the better verse on the J. Cole record. J-Rock had the better verse on the J. Cole record.
We gotta bring this segment back.
Yes, we do. After you listen to this, you know what I mean?
Word. Maybe next week after you listen to the project. In the meantime, let's get to grade the bars. Time for some rapping. Let's check out JID's XXL Freshman Freestyle.
We don't let bygones be bygones. We bite guns and squeeze like a python until the night come. The bear the right arm, the right the bare arms, and we can fight. I get my shine on, belt over Ryan, cut on the lights, and when I die, just take me to Zion and kill me twice. It's like my second life, my second line. I put this noose around my neck just to accessorize. Riding in this coupe terrified, 12 trying petrify a nigga with petty crimes. How you feel about me don't matter like black light.
Grade these bars.
The only lyricist on the XXL freshman list is here. So it's like, if we're comparing it to what we're gonna hear, this is classic, okay? To what we're gonna hear.
Classic.
But it was pretty good. But to your point, which you made earlier, he's discussing death, you know what I mean? But again, JID, one of the most unappreciated people, I do believe one of the most unappreciated young rappers. I'm glad that he did make the list, and this is his time to shine. It's very unfortunate that there's a lot of things that are clouding this particular moment for him, but I'm glad that we're highlighting it. He's going off, and this is a segment that he's gonna shine in, the freestyle, right? I also do want to hear him the cipher too. Yeah. So these are the elements where the people who are lyricists that make the list, they get to kind of flex a little bit, right? And I just don't know, like, just given the list, I don't know who he's gonna be the cipher with, because
I put YB and Namir in there with him. I mean that's the next like kid that could rap.
Yeah,
I mean, YB and Namir is he's not lyrical, but he can rap. Like
he can flow.
He can flow and he can rap. But I like JID, on this one. I said his name right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I said it so fast. But no, I like this. I wanted, me personally, one of my picks was Jordan Lucas to be the lyricist guy on that list. But I think he's holding it down.
Well, you got to realize this was shot before Pump and Cole actually got cool. I heard there's a little tension on set, but
a little tension?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna throw some bars at Pump, man. Yeah, let him have it.
Where's he from?
I don't know. I thought they were all from North Carolina.
Baz is from Queens. Baz is from Queens. Kaz is from Cali.
I thought it was like a Fayetteville movement.
Nah, man.
Okay.
All right, it's time.
Atlanta?
It's time. Enough. Let's do this. Come on, Ak. Yeezus time. All right, look, guys. So Yeezus celebrated its 5-year anniversary on Monday, June 18th. Now, of course, this is easily one of the most debated projects in Kanye's catalog. Debuted at #1, sold 327,000 copies in the first week, et cetera, et cetera. All right, yesterday we were already arguing about this in the green room. I just want to put it out there. I'm not going to say names. Someone on this team.
Not me or Ak.
Said that the college dropout aged like sour milk, and that Yeezus is a better album than College Dropout. Just want to know that was said. Don't say
I don't even know why
who
we
said it.
took his opinion. First of all, we shouldn't take Chop's opinion for anything.
Damn.
Like, come on now. Like,
Agent Ak.
It's Chop. Chops puts every new Drake song on the countdown, like on the lineup. He basically thinks they're all classic. So, of course, he doesn't think anything Kanye does is too good. But anyway, no, Yeezus is one of the worst albums I heard, period. It was futuristic, and you know what? The whole thing, I remember arguing a lot of like Kanye, I call them disciples, his stands, because they do follow and do anything. They'll drink the Kool-Aid. But I remember the defense for that album at the time was that it's so futuristic because it's mending and blending sounds, and it does. You know what I mean? And
artistic.
You know what? If
we
know the influence of 808s and Heartbreak, and I look at that album different now because it did inspire a whole different sound. And with Yeezus, there's an attempt to blend a lot of different genres and sounds. I just gotta say, not because you're the first to do it means you did it well.
So you feel like this didn't age at all. So think about when you first listened to the album versus how you feel right now.
Well, it aged well for me. In the direction I was feeling. I felt it was trash then. Now I feel it's hot trash.
Okay, so
I want to go through the track list with you guys too, one by one. We printed it out. Wayno, you
do
go
we have
first.
to do that?
No, let's hear Wayno's overall opinion, man.
All right, so look. When at the time, what was the last album we had got? It was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Classic.
Right? And then Yeezus came after that. Even the 808s, right? When I first heard 808s, I wasn't psyched about it, and my man told me to listen to it again. And my assessment of 808s it was the Love Below, like Andre 3000's album, but with auto-tune and different sounds and shit. I think it was like kind of the same love narrative with futuristic sounds, right? So I was by the time I said that I liked 808s and Heartbreaks, a lot of people thought I was bugging, but I felt like Ye was going in a new direction. I feel like when Yeezus came out, Kanye finessed everybody. And the reason why I feel like he finessed everybody was because when I seen New Slaves, because we could only see it on YouTube, those when people was doing it on their phones and uploading it to YouTube, and I'm listening to New Slaves, I'm like, oh shit. Nah, he about to come with some shit. Like, this is gonna be insane because New Slaves, I ain't gonna front, that's a classic Kanye record. That one record by itself.
This is the one where you said he had the best verse of all time, right?
Yeah, but I don't think he's wilding saying that. He's wilding saying that, but New Slaves is a very, very, very,
Is that
very
the only
dope song
song on this album that you like?
No, it's not the only song I like.
I'm gonna tell you how Kanye West.
Wait, I'm not finished. I feel like he finessed us because at that point, that's when he did the artwork with nothing in it, right?
Right.
At the same time, he came out with a fucking white T-shirt that was $150.
After the whole shit on New Slaves, which was very confusing, but
I felt.
You copped it?
No, hell no, I ain't copped that shit. Listen,
he got some Yeezys instead.
later on, but I just felt like we was finessed by the time we got the album because remember, even with this album coming out, when we was talking about Ye, I was like, yo, I'm looking for him to talk about some social issues, some real shit, get back to how he was talking before. And New Slaves, he kind of had that in there, right? Then when I turned this shit on and I heard On Sight, oh my God.
Can we start there? So I remember hearing this. I think he performed it at Governor's Ball. And I know a lot of people they love On Sight. I do like a few songs on this album a lot, but this to me, just personally, not as a critic, is the worst Kanye song of all time, I feel. It's just
probably one of the worst
painful
songs
to
of all
start. Yeah, but
this was the proof I needed that Kanye was in the studio with a bunch of dick riders and yes men. Ain't no way this it was basically a headache in audio form. This shit was trash. And I'm gonna tell you how Kanye West finessed this. I'll expound on, I don't know if you were going there, but this is where I'm going with it. This is when I realized that he finessed us giving us an album that was literally like the bullshit, and he said it later. He admitted it.
Well,
The nigga admitted to the
also
finish.
said
Yo, I gave y'all some bullshit because I needed to gain some support, and my support obviously comes from music because I'm a musician, to really get into fashion doors. So he gave us bullshit, literally bullshit.
Yes.
So he really finessed us after he gained so much trust. And you know, everybody does that. Like if you gain trust in your audience, there's gonna be one time you mail it in, right? And oftentimes you expect to be forgiven for that, but this was just pure fucking.
let's go through the track list, so we're not just shitting
On
on the
Sight,
whole album.
right.
So
On Sight,
we
one
can
of
agree
the
that none of us like On Sight.
worst songs of all time.
Okay, I'm with you.
Lil B got better songs than this.
Okay, let's get it. All right, we established what we feel about
Yeah,
On Sight.
all right, so Black Skinhead. Meh, I skip.
Yeah, it's. And one of my friends, he was like, "Yo, you don't like Black Skinhead?" And I was
It's
like,
cool, but
it's cool. It's like okay, it's cool, but it's
Man, I'm
Now-
gonna tell you another way how this nigga finessed this, man. The track listing had us. Yo, when I seen the track
yeah. I
listing,
said when I seen I Am a God.
yo,
But I'm gonna tell you,
it
you know
look
what?
lit.
The best thing, and this still within this, but the best thing to come from this whole shit was the interviews that came out at that time, because that's when we got the Houseway shit, right?
Yeah.
But even some of those interviews, I ain't gonna mention no names, but people playing it like, this is really actually good. Like,
What?
Like, get the right, exactly. Somebody did it.
There are some people who love this album. I actually wish we had someone here to like argue that
yo,
point.
yeah.
But let's keep going down.
Ooh.
I Am a God. I listen
Niggas
to
getting
this song.
paid.
I like this song.
All right, yo, honestly, yo, most of this shit is trash. I just gotta tell you the ones who I do
Okay,
fuck
here we
with
go.
on this.
Fine, Ack. Whatever.
Bound to one. That's a great Kanye song.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
he
facts,
kind of
that's facts.
regained himself. I actually listened to that song thinking this has got to be an old song.
Produced by the Heatmakers too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Heatmakers did that. Remember the Heatmakers, all the Dipset sound, all of that.
Guilt Trip. I got Cudi on it. Loved it. That's another reason I couldn't wait for Cudi.
Love, we say?
Yeah, loved it.
I don't love that at all.
Guilt Trip. Yeah, I love that.
Skip for me.
Skip.
Blood on the Leaves.
Obviously.
Absolutely love that.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, blindly, yeah.
And what else is there?
I like Hold My Liquor as well.
Is that
I like
Lil
the way
Keith?
I like the way he used. I don't really like Hold My Liquor, but I love the way he used Keith on it. Like I love
Yeah, I
his
just like
part.
the darkness of
Yeah,
the song.
I like his part.
It's dope.
Trash. I'm not into that.
Okay.
I think New Slaves, and I don't think it's like one of his best songs. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. But yeah, it's only 5. My argument with this album
So
is
wait.
that
You can't say there are 5 good songs and then say it's trash.
Right.
what? 5 out of 10?
5 out of 10 is
Half-
50%
half
from
the
the
album?
three-pointer.
No.
Are you?
Five?
If you said-
hold on.
if you
If
said
Steph Curry hits 5 out
Hey,
of 10
for
threes,
anybody
it's
watching
lit.
this right now,
Right.
if a teacher gives you a test with 10 questions and you get 5, are you getting a B? You're getting an F. You
But
failed.
it's mad things
You
I can
can't
equate
apply
that
that
to.
here.
All right, hold on.
It's mad
No,
things
no,
I
no,
can
hold on.
equate that to.
But
You
you
can't, don't
can't-
use that
Wait.
analogy.
If half is good, it's not trash. If 8
Yo, the
out of
rest
10
are
are
trash.
bad,
Yo,
then-
there's no the I ones I threw in the good pile. The rest are trash.
So not even
Okay, look.
All right.
I got 3. All I have is 3. I got New Slaves,
Okay.
Blood on the Leaves, and Bound 2.
The only
Stop there
songs
for
you
me.
like.
That's the only songs I like.
Okay. So and I'm telling you the ones that are trash. On-site trash. Black. I think I might have had that. Okay. Either 2 or 3. Black Skinhead or I'm a God. One of them is super trash. I can't remember which one is trash, but there's trash associated with one of them. New Slave, alright. Hold My Liquor, garbage. I'm in
Last
it.
time you listened to this album?
The
Last
last
time you didn't listen to it when it
the
dropped.
last
and that
time
was
the last time I need to force myself to get a headache and go to sleep.
All right.
I'm in it. Garbage. Blood on the Leaves.
Yo, you're
Hold on. Blood on the Leaves. Well, I think it's almost a classic song. Guilt Trip. Fuck with it. Fuck with Cudi. You already know. Send It Up.
That's the one with King Louis, right?
Garbage.
Yeah.
And then Bound 2. That's almost a classic song for me too. I don't know. I love a sample on Blood on the Leaves.
When did Cruel Summer come out? Did it come out the same time? Around the same time? A year prior? Yeah, a year prior.
What?
Let's just, I mean, I don't like Yeezus.
It's cool. So we
I
feel like
don't
it
like,
didn't.
you know,
It's not no debate. We just shitting on the album right
No,
now.
but that was
Is
just,
this
that wasn't
anniversary?
the point. That wasn't the point. This is supposed to be for a segment. Do we even have the graphic called like This Week 5 Years Ago? I do want to talk about Born Sinner as well. You said a lot happens in 5 years. I
Yes.
just wanted to see how this album panned
It
out.
didn't
I
go
remember this getting a lot of talk over Born Sinner in the week or two, but clearly Born Sinner was just like
And he only
levels above Yay.
He only outsold Cole by like 40,000.
But that was the proof of concept that he could package bullshit in any form and sell it to us. That's when he started putting out shirts with holes in it.
Yeah,
Like $700.
white tees for
You know what I mean?
$150. Like,
Oh, man. All right. So
That's when he came
the
with
best thing to come out of all this was the interviews. That's it.
Word.
Best things. That was the Breakfast Club interview that they had too. with
That's
Ye.
when he came out with them
Kanye
first
Kardashian.
Yeezy joints. Them shit was disgusting looking. You remember them joints?
You have them. What are you fucking talking
No, the first Yeezy joint.
like the red.
Them shit that looked like it looked like a little paper mache joint. Like them
about?
shit.
No. Those Yeezys.
What are those called?
You talking about the turtle dove shits?
No.
You have those. You came here wearing. You wore those on
It's
set.
Not those aren't the first.
You're not talking about the
joint.
Nike Yeezys, because all the Nike Yeezys was fire.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm talking about.
No, you're bugging. That
was garbage.
No, the Nike Yeezys was garbage.
Them shits was ugly.
You have on Nike flights. You can't call Nike Yeezys garbage if you have on Nike
bruh,
flights.
I'm telling you what I saw. Them shits didn't look too good, bro.
the fuck out of here. All right, that's a whole
other-
nother
the other
convo.
Yeezys-
That's
the
a
other
whole-
Yeezys was
I
rocking.
can't talk sneakers with him. This is gonna be
I know.
bad.
Sneakers or basketball. At least you could talk about rap, right? Or else
Right.
we'd be in.
Wait, hold on. Wait, people really rock with them first garbage joints over like
The
new
Nike
Yeezys?
Yeezys? Are you kidding me?
I think it's the Adidas ones, but whatever. The ones I got, nigga.
The
Really?
ones you got. The
Niggas
Nike-
rock with the first
You
one
didn't
over
like
this?
the first versions at all?
Oh my God. them
Yo,
shits
listen.
trash.
He
I'm-
told me he
I'm
came to America in 2001. He can't talk about.
What?
Okay, wait. There will be no
It's like a
immigration here.
qualifier. You can't talk about.
You can't.
What?
You wasn't even cultured with sneakers.
My nigga, I know.
You didn't know.
what-
You're not cultured with sneakers now.
If it doesn't look good to my eye, my nigga, I don't care what you think. It's trash.
You're bugging. Yeah, but you score a lot.
Hey,
You
hold on,
call a lot of
hold on,
shit
wait,
dope
wait,
that
hold
the
on.
masses
Wait,
call
hold on.
dope. So don't do that.
Hold on.
Don't do that.
And I'm about to Google this shit, yo.
I'll help you out.
A lot of
What you
people
trying to find?
agreed with that. Like
The
a lot of
Nike
people,
That the sneakers
Yeezys?
weren't-
I don't think he
No.
knows
I
what the
think
Nike
I know
Yeezys are.
what
I
he's
know what
talking
both of your
about,
Nike Yeezys
but like
are.
I don't know how you thought those. Why? Actually,
I'm gonna look it up.
matter
I'm
that
gonna look
much.
it. Nah, I'm about to look this joint up.
All right,
You look it up.
Go ahead,
because
find it. We have one
Go
more
ahead, look it up.
topic. We have one more topic. It's light. Let's see what you find. Come on.
No, not these joints. It was some other bullshit looking joints.
So you're making it up.
You talking about
No,
the
no,
great?
no.
You talking about the first Adidas Yeezys, the high top ones.
Okay, maybe that's
Wait, the Yeezy. Look up Yeezy 750.
Yeezy 750.
Gray.
Okay, you would know that.
Should I introduce
These bullshits. These
I
are
wasn't
trash.
talking about those. I wasn't talking about those.
Okay.
Okay,
These are
okay,
trash.
okay.
Okay, maybe I don't know when they come out, but,
Right.
but these motherfuckers.
I wasn't fucking with
As
them.
long as you say these are trash.
Those are trash.
Okay.
All right, guys.
You got these?
Hell no, I don't got them shit.
If you wear that to everyday show one day, man, we're gonna have to have a shoe cam for your stupid ass. If you wear this shit, man. This
Hell
shit.
no, I ain't got
We
those.
should get a shoe cam actually.
He's gonna lose every day.
Oh well, that's
No, yeah.
obvious.
Don't.
Yeah, don't put him
Not
in
for
that.
your shoes.
Right.
Don't even worry about it. All right,
Definitely
look. So
not
guys, in summary, Yeezus probably didn't age that well.
750. That's
Out of five, what we giving Yeezus?
Don't even ask
No,
that
out of 5,
question.
I give it a 2.5 because I like half of it, the other half is trash. That's 2.5 out of 5. That's a trash album to me. No? That's fair.
In other news, DJ Khaled currently working on his next album, Father of Assad, who, by the way, is getting so big. Last night, he teased a new track with Justin Bieber, Quavo, and Chance the Rapper on Instagram. Now, you guys remember this is the same lineup for that single, I'm the One. Are you excited for this? Did you like that, the last song? I feel like we did talk about it on this show.
What?
I'm the One.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Fuck with Khaled heavy. Khaled been messing with me lately. Like Khaled, these little combination joints. He had a great run, but been putting out trash recently. I ain't gonna lie to you. The singles, like, what's the last couple singles? This Top Off joint, garbage. What else? The I'm on One joint, garbage. Especially when you look at the names. Again, you gotta look at the
Wait,
names.
which one you said?
I'm the One.
I'm the One.
I'm the one.
whatever
Yeah,
it is.
because
Yeah,
I'm
like-
on One was amazing.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's a long time
Yeah,
ago.
it probably-
At Bieber, Wayne, Chance the Rapper,
probably
it was
did
like a
well for
fucking
that.
Year of the World type
Like
of
a pop
joint.
record.
Trash.
That shit is good for spring break kids. It's not good for us. Like,
And what was it? I think the last one I really fucked was like I Got the Keys.
I got the key. Yeah.
I fuck with I Got the Keys.
Got the
Like,
Keys.
I'm used to Khaled with
And Nas album
anthems.
done.
And me
Yeah.
saying that, like, I love when Khaled come with these records because I look to Khaled for the anthems of the summer. Right. Those records haven't been that excited for, and I was a little bit disappointed that he went generic with like Top Off the Maybach was so generic.
Yeah,
Like I heard it, I'm like, damn, this is what Future gave him?
I think
Like,
it was a
Future
good
does not
idea,
fuck with
just
him no more.
poorly executed. It was a good idea to like J&B and
Yeah.
Future, but it just wasn't executed correctly.
But it's just like, this is an all-star lineup, right? There's a chance this could be amazing. Maybe if they take it in a different direction.
The last one I really enjoyed, other than I Got the Keys, is the record with Rihanna and Bryson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
That was dope.
Wild Thoughts.
Obviously.
But then there was another one, the one he put out with Drake, To the Max.
Oh, yeah.
That was, you know
That
what I
came
mean?
and went quick, though. That didn't
Yeah,
even feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
To the
real...
max on the one. With,
It was the shit where he kept doing the shit like this, like you know remember?
How'd it go?
Niggas like he was having a spasm, bro. Like you know,
that was
remember?
the one where he used the Too Short line.
Go on. No, that's
That was for free. Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying
for
to
free.
sing that right now.
It's the one
To the
with
max.
To the Max. The Max. You remember that?
Fuck no.
The Miami
I'll
shit
play
they
it for you
used?
after. Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
don't
a
remember
producer
that
was
shit,
mad
yeah.
that he said he like stole the beat and
For real?
or whatever.
Well, I mean, listen. If you gonna put my thing is if you gonna put Quavo and Justin Bieber together, get Justin Bieber on some trap shit. For real. Put Justin Bieber on some trap. Cause I'm tired of us jumping in his fucking lane. For real. I'm tired of us. Like I'm the One is a Justin Bieber song
Right.
featuring everybody else.
Trap Bieber.
Yeah. I mean, he was doing all the shit that trap dudes do over the past 2 years. Put him in our lane musically. Fuck that. Let him come into our world. I'm tired of us going to his world.
Well, I am excited to hear what Khaled got to come with because you know what? Khaled's a great salesman. And whatever he got, whether it's the best thing, and by the way, his hit ratio is usually pretty good, even though I admitted that he missed a couple times. But he's a great salesman to kind of sell whatever he got coming forth. So hopefully he comes with some good shit. I mean, I would like for him to, and that's my only thing with Khaled too, right? I like when he brings the newer rappers into the fold of what he does. I feel like he has a system. And I remember there was a point it felt like he was always relying on Wayne for that one verse, and he was going to the same, like some formulaic stuff. Right. Then he switched it up a little bit, and we saw that's how you get a record like Rihanna and Bryson. Hopefully he brings some of the, and when I mean newer rapper, I'm not talking about like mumble rappers or like that, but like, or it could be, but
Collaborate with some new people.
yeah, new people that kind of have a wave.
Wasn't he with Pump too? I seen like.
Well, he was trying to sign Pump.
Yeah, but I mean he probably got a record out of Pump. Probably got a record out of Pump. I mean that would be. I don't know how Khaled pulls this shit off, but he gets like the top features in the game. Like I don't know how he pulls this shit off, but it would be dope for him to start doing some newer things with the newer rappers. But like I said, with Justin Bieber, make him jump into our world. Yeah.
Yo, so I don't know if I really want Trap Bieber, but I would say a Bieber and Post Malone joint album though.
Joint album?
Yeah, I would be there for that. Did you hear their single on, what is it, Stony? They're good together.
I never heard.
They're good together. Deja Vu, I think.
I'm
it's
not
called.
gonna like. I'm
Man,
not gonna
fuck
say
that.
I
Bieber
be
Valley, I
listening to
fuck
that
with you, but I want a Juice WRLD and Post Malone album at this world. At this point, they sound alike. One's like
Album?
the other one. Yeah, man. Juice WRLD is fire
Album
right
is too
now.
ambitious for me, man. The whole album.
Seven songs.
Okay,
2.5
7
minutes
songs.
each.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes. Okay.
Sets of parameters.
I
So it
want
sounds like one long song.
I want a Juice WRLD, Post Malone, and Uzi project.
Ooh, okay.
We get that, I'm straight.
So you know how many personalities that is, like, just to make it happen, like.
Well, that's the thing. Like you know, like every time you hear a new artist, the easiest way, and that's how I treat new artists. Like I compare it, right? Like I mean, you might hear Tekashi and be like, "Yo, this sounds like kind of have like a Onyx type of flow or feeling." You get
No,
me?
you said that.
He
I didn't
said
say
Onyx.
Okay, all right.
He was
He's
just
just
like,
loud. Tekashi's just loud. That's
And
all.
they were loud too. Niggas
Yeah,
in the
but
book. All right,
I
we
wouldn't
compare
say
the
that
loudest.
flow, no.
Yeah, but when you think about I remember Trippie Redd. I say, yo, Trippie Redd kind of reminds me of Uzi. I remember when I first heard Uzi, I said Uzi reminded me of like Young Thug. When I first heard Young
Right,
Thug,
right.
reminded me of Wayne.
right.
Juice WRLD kind of reminds me of Uzi and Post Malone. So
Blink-182.
shit, just link all of them
He's
together.
only like 18, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And the crazy thing about that is, like, you got to think, over the past, like, 4 years is when Uzi's been putting out a lot of stuff. So think about him going from 14 to where he's at now. He's only 18 years old. So look how quickly you can be influenced. We was having this conversation yesterday about influence and how you create music. For a guy like Juice WRLD that's 18 years old, just signed one of the biggest deals in music and doing so great, it's all off of the music that he's been listening to over the past 4 years.
Right.
So it shows you kind of where music is going, in a sense. And him being so young, doing that at a high professional level. Now I'm talking some manager executive.
Yeah. I don't know if the issues between Jay and Future are squashed, but I want to hear them on no more records until it is, because I feel like they sabotaging each other.
What?
That was one of the worst Future hooks I've gotten in like ever. And then Jay, I don't know if Jay was dissing this nigga or just like, you know, let me just do my own thing. They were on different
You
planets.
know, front top of the Maybach came and went fast.
Yeah.
It came and went
Barely came.
fast.
I'm sorry.
Right.
All right, guys, that's our show for today. I think, yeah, we're going to talk about Born Sinner tomorrow, right, guys?
Right. I'm down with that.
5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Are you going to chime in? Nicole's your fave.
If you want me to chime in, sure.
You gotta
course.
chime in.
Of course. I fuck with Borson. Especially after Yeezus left such a disgusting taste in my mouth.
Okay, all right, enough. We understand. You don't like Yeezus. All right, guys.
Pause.
Yo, that's our show. We'll see you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions for the guys, hit us on Twitter at EverydayShrug with 2 Gs. DM us some video questions.
Yeah, could y'all send some videos, man? Like, I want to hear some personality in the questions you guys are asking.
Yeah.
Or at least, like, see the audience a little bit. We ain't got enough money for the live studio audience. We just want to see it. Okay? Send us a video.
All right, send us some videos. We'll see you guys tomorrow in Everyday Struggle.
Peace.